All right, so I just got done with my appointments in Chicago, done for the weekend. Head back to Atlanta first thing tomorrow. This upcoming weekend, supposed to be in KC. Really now knowing how KC is gonna turn out. That's the thing about being a solopreneur, being an entrepreneur, taking these risks. I'm not really sure how that weekend financially is gonna turn out. I'm not sure it's gonna be in my favor or not. I'll see if I get some last minute bookings, whatever it may be. This weekend was pretty decent. Baltimore looking like it's gonna do great, which is the weekend after Kansas City. But yeah, Kansas City is looking like, yeah, I'm not too sure. But like I said, with me being the risk taker that I am, I take the hits and keep it moving. With what I'm currently doing, this whole bodywork therapy, my entire goal was to end this by the end of this year. But it's looking like I might have to stretch it out till May of next year. And I say that because those first 5 months of the year, January through May, are my hot months. That's where I make the most of my money. That's when bookings, appointments, people paying the money is really coming in. Once the summer months start coming in, things start slowing up because people are traveling. So expenses is going to traveling and things of that nature. And then after that, school's getting back in, holidays rolling in. So the rest of those 5 to 7 months of the year, it can be a toss up of what I'm going to get. So, what I'm working on, just by May of 2026, everything should be in full swing where I can go ahead and let this go. If I continue to do this, it'll be for trainings, couple trainings and things of that nature, special events where I'm getting paid big dollars to my presence to be before people. But yeah, man, the hustle continues while I'm hustling. I'm working on building systems, the systems that'll pay me 24/7 without me having to physically trade my time in order to make money. That's always the goal, and that's currently my goal, and to have multiple streams of income. And even when I say multiple streams of income, it's not where I'm stretching myself to make money. It's those things where I can create one time and I continue to make money off of them, or it's everything flows together. It's not me going from here, and there. And then I was like, damn, I'm spinning my head, breaking myself down just to make a dollar. I'm not trying to do that. So I'm working on creating a system where everything is flowing smoothly and the money is just coming in, the cash flow is coming to me smoothly. If you want to jump into this thing of entrepreneurship, being a solopreneur, do not take the advice of these people who are gloating about always winning in these big major dollars and stuff coming in. I'm telling you, pretty much what they have coming in is definitely going out, especially with people who have big expenses as far as advertisement. I spend money on ads currently with this business, and it's the amount of money I spend so far. I started this ad account in November of 2023. It's 2 years later, and this ad account has almost spent over $70,000. That's nothing compared to people who spend $70,000 a month. But still, that's eating away in my profit. That's money that can be in my pocket versus me having to spend. So I'm doing some things right now. I'm looking to see how I can do some organic stuff, do IG stories and things of that nature, showing specific things that gets that interest going up. And I have the leads coming in for people booking, because I definitely do not want to spend money on ads anymore. It eats away at your profitability, and I definitely want to get away from that. That's why I stopped the ads for my info product. I'd rather just build up a community versus the hopes of spending $50 per day, and then you got 3-4 days coming by, you spend $150, $200, which is nothing in the grand scheme of things. But it's like, all right, how much longer do I have to keep spending money just to make money? So I just got away from that, and it's going to take a whole different approach with that. But yeah, man, when you trying to win, being an entrepreneur, what used to work in the past, definitely, going into the present day in the future, it may not work. I remember when I first started this, spending money on ads was $10 per day. $10 per day, and I can book out a city. And $10 per day is nothing when now I'm spending 25 to 50 to 70, sometimes 100 per day, to get my ad in front of as many eyeballs as possible in the hopes of somebody to book. You know, for somebody to pay their deposit, and that deposit eats away at whatever spend I have to do for that day. So man, it's just a whole game of chess and checkers, and just doing what I need to do in order to win. And you know, I got a good bit of cash. I got a good bit of cash in my pocket right now. So, you know, I'm not, you know, really complaining and stuff like that, because like I said, I make decent money. I got a good bit of cash in my pocket, and you know, we're not talking about other payments that have came in. But I say this to say, man, it's always a better way, and I'm currently working towards creating that better way. So yeah, like I said, I'm jumping out of this definitely by May of 2026. It's been a fun ride. I've met some great people over these years and traveled to these different cities. But now it's time to level up. And like I said, as I'm leveling up, I'm gonna show y'all how I got into. Trust, the first 10 years prior to 2020 was hell for me trying to be a solopreneur. I speak about that in my mindset, entrepreneur mindset manual, 5 to 10K hustle. First 10 years were hell. These past 5 to 6 years have been pretty good. 2022 was hell. I was about to get a sales job because this was going terrible. Even with the slow months that I've had this year, was nothing in comparison to the slow months I had back then. That's when I was, it was hell, man. Barely making $1,000 for the month. So man, that was a terrible year for entrepreneurship for me. But I got through it. And I'm here where I am now. But yeah, I'm doing my thing. I can't complain, but it's level up time. It's time to really put in the work and get myself to being a millionaire. That is my goal, be a multi-millionaire. What I'm currently doing, the ceiling is too low to get there. So yeah, man, that's just an update of what I got going on, what I'm moving towards, and I'm gonna give y'all the step-by-step play of how I'm doing it. But yeah, man, I'm really out here. I'm really being self-employed. I have nothing else going for me as far as a job or anything like that. It's just me using my hands to make money. And now I'm using my mind and my creativity and my intellectual property to make money. So yeah, broke my stuff down. I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to get everything else together, chill out, watch this Coach Greg Adams money mindset. You know, I'm a part of his community. So I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to watch that later today and get ready to get to this airport and get to Atlanta, man. So yo, follow my journey, watch how I make these big things happen, and watch how I move. And yo, I'm gonna show y'all how to go from a solopreneur who's making low 6 figures to being a multi-millionaire. So watch me move, put these things into work, implement these mindsets and put it into action. And I'm gonna show you how to do the same in the process, man. I'll talk to y'all later.